government has received about 300 emails from Kenyans who are asking the monarch there not to travel to Kenya because of what's happening here. Now, this is just the wider picture of how critics of this administration have been trying to tell people out there there's a problem in it. Is this administration playing into the hands of its critics? That now we're seeing headlines in Tanzania speaking of the same.
Well, you speak about President Ruto. The last 2 years, he has engaged the high gear in economic diplomacy, positioning Kenya as an FDI destination, catalyzing our exports and creating opportunities for Kenyan human capital to go all over the world. As late as yesterday, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, Musalia Mudavadi, has signed a comprehensive agreement with Abu Dhabi that will open opportunities again for Kenyans who want to engage in livestock and livestock products, farming, all these activities. And the abductions stands out as a stain on the international relations space. However, there's a unique opportunity to engage in reputation management, because the president pronounced himself that he does not support abductions and he doesn't want abductions to take place. Now, if you have a parliamentary hearing, it will bring out all the key actors and we will understand their motivation. And from that stage, then the law enforcement agencies will take action on whoever is responsible for this abduction. Mm-hmm. We can repair that international image if the architects of this abduction are put behind bars. Because it's a very sad day for Kenya that countries that do not have a very solid constitution like we do are now making us a laughingstock. They're saying that we consider Kenya to be a safe place, but it's no longer the case. So the administration must do this in a matter which is, actually this is a very urgent matter. And right now, the buck stops with the National Assembly and Senate, because they've got the constitutional responsibility to call these leaders in law enforcement to go to Parliament, go to the relevant committee, and they do a special investigation and really find out what is the crux of the matter. You remember a few weeks ago, the National Police Service said they don't know who is doing abductions, but we said they ought to know who is doing abductions. Now Muturi has said that it's actually the NIS doing abductions. So every person is coming giving a statement. And I suspect there will be many more statements coming to town. So we need an independent organization which will actually investigate this, and that mandate falls within the domain of the National Assembly. Now, for the election of Mr. Raila Odinga to the AISU position, contrary to popular opinion, the people, the voters for that role, have got a very strong understanding of Kenya, I've got a very strong understanding of politics, and the decision has been made. So suggesting that Mr. Raila Odinga is going to be a casualty. Yes, the voters are limited. It's for the longest time, it was a club of gentlemen. You know, it's like the election of the Pope. It's a small group of people who gather in a room and take decisions. However, it's important that Mr. Raila Odinga adds his voice to this conversation. He has pronounced himself in the past, but there's no upper limit on the number of pronouncements he can make, because his words have got a political... Do you
think he has at liberty to actually come and delve into these matters of abduction and speak freely, probably condemning the same, now that you can see the link between his benefactor, the president, and their actions?
He spoke about abduction a few days ago. Well, I think he was in Homa Bay or Migori. He pronounced himself, and also the president pronounced himself. But as indicated, there's no upper limit. Because at some stage, you know, we look at these abductions as pieces of statistics. But we are talking about human beings who go missing, and you leave families wondering what is happening. And as one of the panelists has indicated, if you don't have your father or mother or a family member in a place of power, who is going to take that call? For Muturi, he's lucky. He knows the president. He can send him a WhatsApp message, and they can keep on checking to find out whether or not the president has read his WhatsApp message. Muturi can literally call anybody and everybody in Kenya. But what of poor Mura, poor Wanjiko, who doesn't even have airtime to make the call, who doesn't even have WhatsApp installed on her phone? What would they do? That is the reason why, anchored on the strong 2010 constitution, we need Parliament to come up and demonstrate leadership by going to the crux of the matter. If they don't do this, it's not just going to be a threat on our reputation, East Africa, Africa, or at a global level. Abduction can become an industry. There are countries in West Africa where people earn a living from abductions, and we cannot entertain that idea.
Yeah, it's interesting that you suggest that Parliament can be a